Morning everyone and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your story yesterday, and today I've got a very exciting one. Today I've got another board game for you guys. This one is called The Game About Love. Right, and as you can see, it's your regular kind of board game that you kind of go around it to the finish. I've got a whole lot of cards, your wild cards, you know, that are just things like miss a turn and so on. Situation cards, but these ones are going to be a bit different. Remember, you have to cut out each one of these to play the game. It's going to be things like, your aunt is feeling sickly. What kind of gesture can you do? Or, you don't understand the working class. Who do you normally speak to about that? And then we've got little heart balloons. And these questions are things like, name your 3 favorite sweet treats, or name 3 family members you love, or your 2 favorite teachers. And then we've got obviously the rules of the game and these little hearts, which are special little things that you need to do. Like tell each person that's playing with you what you love about them, for instance. So I think you're going to really love that game, and I'd love to see you playing it. So if maybe mom or dad can maybe send a picture to me showing me you playing, that would be great. I'll give you some virtual stickers for that, or maybe even a prize if you're close enough to a prize, or you're the first one to get your stuff in. So we're still doing the prizes at this stage, and some of you are doing very nicely with that. And then we've got this very, very beautiful story today called The Velveteen Rabbit. Now, The Velveteen Rabbit, just for you guys to know, is actually a very, very famous story. It's one of the classics. So I'm not going to read you the original story because that would be very long. But this is an adapted version of the story, which means they've taken the actual story and they've made it a bit smaller, maybe a bit easier to understand. But it's still by Margery Williams, who was, I think, the original author. And the illustrator has a very interesting surname. So it's Gareth Llewhellin. So I don't know if he's maybe German or, you know. But the publishers is Top That, and you can see their little logo over there. Let me read you this very, very beautiful classical story. There once was a Velveteen Rabbit, and in the beginning he was really splendid. He was fat and bunchy, as a rabbit should be. His coat was spotted brown and white. He had real thread whiskers, and his ears were lined with pink satin. So look how beautiful he looked, huh? For at least 2 hours the boy loved him. And then his friends arrived for his birthday party, and in the excitement of looking at all the new presents, the Velveteen Rabbit was forgotten. There's a boy playing with the little rabbit, and then him getting a bit distracted. And there's a little Velveteen Rabbit on the floor. For a long time, the Velveteen Rabbit lived in the nursery toy cupboard, and no one thought very much about him. He was naturally shy, and being only made of velveteen, some of the more expensive toys snubbed him. That means they didn't bother speaking to him. They didn't think he was worth it. The mechanical toys thought they were very superior, so they thought they were better than everyone else. They looked down on the other toys and pretended they were real. The Velveteen Rabbit could not claim to be real, for he didn't know that real rabbits existed. So look at poor little Velveteen Rabbit there, hey? We can see the robot is not looking very kind at all, hey? What is real? Asked the Velveteen Rabbit one day, when he was lying beside Rocking Horse on the nursery room floor. Does it mean having things that buzz inside you? And a stick-out handle? Real isn't how you're made, said Rocking Horse. It's a thing that happens to you when a child loves you for a long, long time. Not just to play with, but really loves you. Then you become real. Look at that beautiful Rocking Horse there, eh? The Velveteen Rabbit speaking to him. There was a person called Mom who ruled the nursery. Sometimes she took no notice of the playthings lying around, and sometimes for no reason whatsoever she went swooping about like a great wind and hustled them away into cupboards. She called this tidying up, and the playthings all hated it, especially the metal ones. The Velveteen Rabbit didn't mind it so much, for wherever he was thrown, he always landed softly. There's Mom picking up everything. One evening when the boy was going to bed, he couldn't find the cuddly teddy that always slept with him. His mom was in a hurry, and seeing that the toy cupboard door stood open, she reached inside. "Here," she said, "take your old bunny. He'd like to sleep with you." And she dragged the Velveteen Rabbit out by one ear and placed him in the boy's arm. There we go. That night, and for many nights after, the Velveteen Rabbit slept in the boy's bed. At first he found it rather uncomfortable, for the boy hugged him very tight. He rolled over on him, and sometimes he pushed him so far under the pillow that the Velveteen Rabbit could scarcely breathe. Oh, it does sound a bit uncomfortable, hey? But very soon the Velveteen Rabbit grew to like it, for the boy used to talk to him, and made nice tunnels for him under the bedclothes that he said were like burrows the real rabbits lived in, and they had a splendid games together. And when the boy dropped off to sleep, the Velveteen Rabbit would snuggle down close under his warm chin and dream with the boy's hands cuddling him all night. Oh, that does sound beautiful, eh? Soon spring came, and they spent long hours together in the garden. Once, when the boy was called away suddenly to go for dinner, the Velveteen Rabbit was left out on the lawn until long after dusk. The boy couldn't go to sleep without the Velveteen Rabbit, and Mom had to come and look for him with a torch. I think all moms and dads have had this experience, eh? Having to look for toys for you guys that you've lost, and you're all worried about them. "You must have your old bunny," she said. "Fancy all that fuss for a toy." The boy sat up in bed and stretched out his hands. "You mustn't say that," said the boy. "He isn't a toy. He's real." When the Velveteen Rabbit heard what the boy said, he was happy, for he knew what Rocking Horse had said was true at last. The nursery magic had happened to him, and he was a toy no longer. He was real. The end. Now, let's see if you can tell me what the moral of that story is, hey? What do you think the message is about that book? There's definitely stickers in it. If you can figure it out, I'd love to hear from you guys. Have a good day. Goodbye.